Hello, so update on what happened today on Monday. So I did have my appointment with the university enrollment specialist, and basically she told me, yes, I've been accepted to the university, but I haven't been accepted to the program that's specific for the degree I'm going for yet because I haven't met the requirements. I haven't taken the test that's specific for that to get into the program yet, so that all makes sense. And I don't have to take a test to get into the university because of the fact I already have a bachelor's and a master's, so all that and SATs don't matter. So that makes sense on why when I look at the tests to get into the college, I don't have to worry about that. It all said complete for math, reading, and English, so that's good. So, and then she told me with my concerns about the statistics class and the other class, what I can do is once it's been reviewed to see if I can petition to fight about why the classes weren't accepted, and to grab the syllabi from the university where I got my undergrad in and apply that and see if they'll read it and review it and see if the syllabus matches up with their syllabus and the requirements in order to receive credit for those classes. So I'm going to do that. And then she offered another idea. She said you could always CLEP out. And if they don't accept those classes, you can CLEP out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if they don't accept that statistics, I know enough of statistics to basically, I can get a book and review it, and most of those undergrad level statistics I'm pretty confident I could test out of and CLEP it and get credit for that class. And then I could probably do that for a couple of the other basics too, and that way I could save money and speed up the process of getting everything completed. So I'm glad she told me that I could CLEP. So that is good. That is a good solution to that. I did CLEP a couple classes back when I was in college back in the day. I just didn't know if I could do that with this specific program. And since these are not the major science classes I have to have for the program, I can CLEP the other classes that don't matter. So I'm going to try to do that. So I just have to go get books and read hard and try to do the best I can and then go and take those exams. So I'm hopeful and very excited that I have the ability to do that. So it's just a matter of motivating myself because as I mentioned before, grad school burned me out on reading. I used to love reading. I still do. I have so many books. I used to love reading, and the amount of books I had to read per class for my graduate program was so intensive, on top of having to read medical journals and do research papers that also required extra reading, so extra books, extra journal articles. It just burned me out. I was reading up to 4 thick books per day, and it really burned me out on reading, and my attention span, I feel like it made me ADD. I just don't have it in me to focus and want to do anything like that anymore. So I'm gonna have to go buckle down, suck it up, and read these books so that I can, CLEP out of those classes and not have to worry about it. So if they don't accept the statistics class, I'm going to CLEP it. I am not taking that freaking class again. I'm not wasting money. I'm not wasting time. And I'm going to apply that to those other basics that they're throwing in there too. So at least a couple of those 25-hour worth of classes I have to take, I can do that. So that is a relief. I just can't do that with those specific math and science classes for the program, which I'm fine with. I don't think I have it in me to CLEP those anyway. Those are way too hard, and I know I need those, so that's fine. But anyway, so that happened today, and she happened to be from the Midwest too. So as soon as she figured out I was a Midwestern girl, it just made everything that much smoother. She gave me the ideas to CLEP and to get the syllabi from my college and send that along with the petition form to fight the fact that they didn't apply my statistics class and gave it a generic label and didn't transfer it in. So I'm going to do that. So thankfully, she did that. So that is really, really, really cool. She said, I can't remember if she said she has a cousin or uncle and then somebody else. So she had 2 family members, direct family members in Michigan, which I'm from. And then she talked about that her brother is a doctor in Florida. And then she talked about that she's got a degree and she was a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and her kids are smart and engineers, and it's just like, oh my God, lady. So smart family. Unlike my family, so I'm overly educated and my cousin is, but everybody else in my family are blue collar. So that really, it's usually not surprising when I come into somebody that's educated and their whole family is. I'm unique. I'm unique in a lot of ways, but that is definitely one of the things. It's not common for somebody who comes from, blue collar roots like myself to be educated, and then of course foster care. So that's totally different, but I give God the glory. He got me through everything, so hopefully he'll get me through this incredibly intensive, stressful program. Hopefully I can get through it. And she gave me some ideas too if I don't get accepted into the program, and that they give you another chance about retaking the class if you do mess it up and if you don't pass it for this hard science classes. And then she told me too that I could change the major to this other major, and then once I improve the GPA and take those classes again, then I could apply again to that major and then use the other one as a minor. So it would still help me and benefit me with getting jobs. I was like, wow, okay. So she was a very helpful resource of information. It was a very productive phone call. And then speaking of phone calls, so I thought this was a job interview today, but it was actually just a screening from an HR person for the job that I'm trying to go for. And so the job I'm trying to go for, he did give me a heads up that it is not a salary position. It is full-time, but it's only $22 an hour, and I would have to dress business professional, not business casual, business professional, which is fine, but unfortunately I'll have to get my hair done. I will have to wear makeup again, which I've got to get used to, and I've got to see if I have anything in my closet that's packed up to see if it's gonna meet those requirements for business professional. And if not, unfortunately I might have to go places and buy some stuff that's on clearance and see what I can do. So but the job interview is Thursday, so but I'm excited. It's something different and gets me out of the realm I was in that was toxic. And although the realm I was in pays a whole lot more, I was considered middle class bracket. And so with that, I was paying over $500 a month, or not 500 a month, 500 per check, and I was paid bi-weekly. So twice a month, I was paying over $1,000 in taxes. And that's why I live in the crap hole I live in. So this awful apartment complex is because literally I couldn't afford it. So, when you think about, okay, here's this paycheck, and then you're paying those high taxes, you're paying for medical benefits, which I was paying over $500, I think either per check or per month, I can't remember. It seems like per check. And then, of course, 401k. Which I obviously already drained, but yeah, so that's frustrating. And speaking of crappy apartment complex, so the upstairs neighbors that live like it's medieval times, and the next door neighbor and the other neighbor. So the direct next door neighbor that I have is her and her boyfriend are drug dealers. And so the tricky thing about that, the upstairs neighbor hates me because they're customers of the next door neighbor. The guy that jogs at me and put the unalive threat on my door, he's also a customer. So when I reported my next door neighbor, because of the fact they have 2 aggressive dogs, they have cameras everywhere because they sell drugs and like to keep an eye on everybody coming in and out of their apartment. So they have cameras everywhere, literally everywhere. And they were never putting their dog on a leash, and they would just let their dog run wherever. Their dog is very aggressive. Their dog attacked me numerous times. It attacked my miniature pinscher that I had up until he died in February. They attacked him mercilessly over and over and over. And those were large dogs and very aggressive. They entered my apartment at that point with attacking my dog, entering my apartment with that lady entering my apartment. I reported her and her boyfriend to the police for not leashing their dogs and for the drugs that was coming in and out of the apartment. And of course, police did nothing, and my apartments just put a note on their door of, hey, this is a warning. So basically a slap on the wrist. But it made the neighbors mad enough that they told the upstairs neighbors and that guy that are their customers all about me. So that's why I'm on the radar. So that's why I'm getting targeted and treated like this. And that is also why nobody has stayed in this apartment. Those neighbors make it hell on earth to live here. So, and I brought that up. I said, I know no one has stayed in this apartment longer than me, and that they tend to leave because of how bad the next door neighbor and upstairs neighbor and that guy are. And they confirmed it. And what's frustrating, next door neighbor is on what's called Section 8 housing, so is upstairs neighbor. Section 8 housing, if you're not familiar, it is a government program, kind of like food stamps. So people that are mentally ill and on disability money, they barely have to pay anything. So the government pays a big chunk of their rent, and they pay a very small percentage. It's like 10%. So when you have someone on government programs, it's hard to evict them, and usually landlords don't want to evict because they get a lot of money from the government to keep them. So basically I'm the one that needs to go. So I'm praying about that. I really want to get this education. I want to make enough money and get the heck out of this apartment complex. And speaking of that terrible guy that liked to jog at me, that is one of the customers of the drug dealer next door to me. I did buy the survival or whatever, the self-defense stuff. This is pretty much useless, if you can see it. It's got a pom-pom, which is very girly. These pouches for stuff. This, if you have OCD and don't want to touch, buttons on an elevator, you use this to touch it. This, if you want to break out of a car that you're kidnapped in, which is not sharp enough or thick enough to do that. So your best bet with this sucker is to just puncture an eye or maybe the eardrum to make the kidnapper leave you alone. So this is useless. And this is a bottle opener, so if you can't get that soda can or your, I guess, alcohol beverage opened, you use this sucker. And this, I guess, is for, see that? I think that's for like a name badge, like for work or something. And this is actually useful. This is a flashlight / alarm. So basically useless stuff on this self-defense thing. And then when Amazon saw that I was buying that and that I was looking for other stuff, because I'm like, I need an actual better alarm flashlight. So I got this. And then I need mace. So I got this. And this little kit also came with a whistle. So the whistle also actually works. So I put it on this lanyard, and I actually wear that when I go out of my apartment. And then when I was buying the self-defense stuff, Amazon recommended this knife, which it looks cute, but I don't know how to close it. I don't even know how I got it open. It was an accident when I opened it. I don't know how to use a knife. I just know like basic kung fu. So I'm not going to use that knife, and I'm going to just keep it, in the little box that it came in and keep it away. So, but anyway, yeah, it was productive. And I am excited about my job interview. I just have to get my hair done between now and Thursday somehow. And I have to figure out about makeup and figure out about nice professional clothes. I have not had to wear makeup or professional clothes in over 5 years. So, yeah. So this is how I look, as is. So I need to get all that taken care of before Thursday. Because going in looking, like this isn't going to work out, obviously. But I am excited for that job. And like I said, $22 an hour. It's not salary. It's 22 hours an hour. It is full-time. It does have benefits. So I'm excited. I mean, I do have to drive to the job, and drive to the training, which I'm okay with. I'm excited that it's going to be something different. And in the big picture, when you think about how much you make, it was not that much less than, what I was making, where they were heavily taxing me. So I was heavily taxed and not making enough to survive on anyway and live in a better place, with, the salary I was making at the other job. And then I still keep getting really strange text messages from the human resource lady for the other job that is in my field with my licensure and whatever. So Friday she texted me in the morning, told me what the job name was, the hours, and then wanted me on the spot to interview, no heads up notice, same day. And I couldn't do it. I missed it. I didn't even see the text until later. So I texted her and I said, I'm sorry I missed this. Can I have another opportunity? Well, today she texted me and says, does those work hours work for you? And that's it. So I texted her back. I said, yes, those hours or a hybrid, work schedule of 4 days, 10-hour shifts work also, if I could be considered for that. So whatever. But again, if it is, the kind of money I was making, it will still end up not being enough to get out of this crappy apartment. But hopefully it could help towards chipping away at paying for college. So either way, I'm asking God to just open the door that needs to be open and close the door that needs to be closed, and that's it. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah. And the next door neighbor, she's not dating that guy anymore. They were selling all kinds of drugs, and I was getting really bad migraines. I'm pretty sure meth was one of them. But now she's just small time and dealing marijuana, which also still gives me migraines. It makes me sick. So yuck. But her boyfriend, she would just, anytime she was pissed at whatever, she would tell him to go do stuff to me and to my car. So he vandalized my car several times. I saw him. He was stupid. He was not smart. He was like 5'6", and he drove a huge black truck, trying to prove his manhood, I guess. And on his bumper sticker, it said, or on his bumper, he had a sticker that said, "Can't fix stupid," which I was like, okay, thanks for the disclaimer to let me know you're stupid. But, they're the worst neighbors, and hopefully God will bless me and allow me to get out of this situation, because it's really taxing mentally to keep living here. I have compassion, all the compassion in the world for mentally ill people and all the people that do drugs, but to live amongst them is quite a different thing. It's not ideal, and you don't ever want to be in this situation. But unfortunately, when it comes to apartments, you can't really pick and choose who's going to be your neighbor. Just like if you had a house, you can't pick and choose. You're stuck next to whoever you're stuck to, and or stuck next to. And unfortunately, this apartment complex accepts, housing assistance, and with that comes mentally ill people and drug addicts and people that are shady and not good people. So no surprise about the unalive note from my next door neighbor's customer, the jogger. And no surprise about the upstairs neighbor that is also awful and does the shenanigans. So it's just, it's a lot. It's stressful, and I look forward to having a job where I have to drive and get out of here, not stay here and work remotely. Although remote work saved me from gas and saved me from maintenance of my car. The lovely neighbor and her boyfriend was vandalizing my car anyway, so not worth the pennies I was saving. It's just worth, just for mental sake, to maybe just get out of here. And who knows, maybe I'll make some friends and stuff in this different field, and that's my hope. And you know, who knows. So we'll see what God does. But anyway, it's been 20 minutes of me talking, so thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to wearing makeup and dressing nice. Thanks for watching.